through mindset, branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team so they can make an amazing impact and income and positively affect their communities worldwide. Ensure that you are sharing this show, you're subscribing, and you also are leaving us a review so we can create more amazing content around those areas to help you level up to the next level and also bring amazing guest experts that can share their knowledge and expertise with you so that you can create amazing legacy. All right, legacy builders, welcome back to another show. Today we're going to talk about the topic of self-mastery. We know that self and business mastery are two important topics that we're always interested in, and we're always looking forward to learning more, as we're all life students and we always learning and growing in our journey and experience as entrepreneurs and purpose-driven CEOs. So I'm back with you with another amazing show and conversation today with an amazing expert that is going to shed some light or insight around today's topic. Courtney Koenig. Koenig. His name? How do you say
You're
that?
Okay. Koenig. It took me a while too. I was like, what is this?
Koenig. That's
Koenig.
Interesting. So what's the origin of your last name?
It's German. So it means king in German. I think Koenig, I think is how they say it in Germany.
Wow, that is so cool. I have dug into my name too, natively Albanian, and it means energy. So that's so cool that it actually has that kind of and right in line with the conversation for sure. So Courtney, if you can share some of the most meaningful moments before we dive into today's topic that led you to the work you're doing that will help us get to know you better and also discover part of your purpose of why you do the work that you're doing as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you again so much for having me on the show today. I so appreciate it. I'm so glad we connected. And so I have a degree in marriage and family therapy. When I was graduating, I was like, wait a second, I don't actually really want to do this. And so I just fell into the company that my husband was building, and it was a marketing and market research that services Fortune 500 clients. Well, really helpful, as a team building that and stuff like that. But it was just something I kind of like, I just kind of did, I just kind of settled into, and I have always loved personal development. I've always had a foot in the door. I've been a meditation coach that led coaching groups for over 200 people. I've always known that the better I am, that the more I can show up in my life how I want to. And so this was a couple years ago, I think. At the time, I was developing a coaching program to help entrepreneurs show up on social media. Now, I thought this would be good because some of the clients that my husband and I had serviced were kind of smaller mom and pop shops. And I was like, well, this would be good for them, but it would also give me something of my own, And so as I was developing this, I feel like everything is so harmonic, I was connecting with some colleagues and making some new friends in the business world. And one of my friends was like, hey, what's your human design? And I still remember the moment she said that word. And I was like, what is this? And she said, so she told me a little bit about it. And she pulled up my chart. And when you're getting your human design chart, all you have to do is put in your birth date, time, and place. Now, human design, if you haven't heard about it, is kind of like a sort of like a personality test, but it's way more energetic than that. Includes these parts of
how is it different from a personality test? That's pretty interesting. So let's dive right into that. And before you actually or kind of just share some of the the aspect of human design and what is it actually and how does it differ from a personality test. I love that through your journey, you also paid attention to all the things that didn't align with you, because I think that's important as well. Sometimes in the pursuit of finding the things that are aligned with our purpose or the things that we want to do, we also discover a lot of things that we don't want to do or are not aligned with us. And that's still very important information on our journeys to be able to give us the clarity for that next thing that's going to resonate with us. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's pretty insightful, and a lot of people can absolutely resonate with that. So let's dive into today's topic: human design. What is it, and how is it different from a personality test? What are some of the concepts that are covered there?
Yeah. Well, I have always there's a lot of personality tests out there, and a lot of them are they're fantastic, right? They give us some insights into who we are. Um, Human design is like this next level, sort of personality test, kind of qualify it as that, but it's not really in that way. It takes our place and time and date of birth, and that's all that we need. And so it combines this like astrology piece with this energetic piece, and I love things that are just it just feels like each individual person. So what it does is it puts out this chart, and this chart tells us what are the gifts that we were born with? How do we operate best? How do we make decisions best? How do we make things happen? So it's so much more detailed than a blanket personality test. It really gives us all these things to look at as far as like how can we acquire this alignment in our life. I work with clients all over the world, and no matter the demographic, no matter where they were born in the world, no matter everything, what I get back every single time is, wow, this is so me. But oftentimes we have a blind spot for who we are and energetically who we are, what we bring to the table. We just think, oh, that's either we discount, well, that's not really something cool I do. It's just who I am, or we're going against who we really are, and the more business happens when we have this velocity behind us. And velocity is this speed in the right direction. Well, the speed in the right direction is doing things our way and giving ourselves permission to say, I am this gift, and that's how I'm going to show up best.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's such a powerful tool. And me being a student, I've always, embracing tools and things that can help us to self-discovery and self-mastery, as we also have titled today's show. I think it's really important to know yourself in so many different dimensions so that you know exactly where to focus on, especially in your life and business. What are the areas that come naturally to you? And what are some of the other complementary things that we need to maybe get the help of other people that are naturally gifted at those areas, especially as we are building a legacy, company, and aligning ourselves with the right teams, clients, and communities and all of that. So I think it's really such a powerful thing. I've also discovered it, and I am so grateful that I was able to on your show. Also, you helped me cover some of the things that, to me, sometimes we just need that validation as humans that the things that we're doing, we're not crazy. We're not the only ones that are kind of, feeling those, or if something comes so naturally to us, that's the reason why. And discovering that through human design has been really powerful as well. What are some of those human design, I guess, personality, character things? If you can maybe give us like each one of those, and then maybe like a personality trait, like something to kind of get to know them by, so that people have that awareness, for people that have never heard of it, or maybe even people that have heard of it, that could always be new information that they could learn around it.
Yeah, and I love to have my coaching, and my skill set is always like, here's what it is and here's what we're going to do about it, So we have action-oriented steps behind it. And so in human design, the first layer that we start to talk about is the foundational layer of your human design type. So when you pull your chart, and I think we'll have that in the notes, is from my site, is you're going to see, you're going to look at your type, and we can start with you. Your type is a generator, and a generator's gift is this go, go, go energy. You can do a lot, you can handle a lot on your plate. And so And one thing that you get to do as a part of this alignment for you is to follow this kind of sparkly lit up feeling, within you. If something is kind of sparking this feeling, then that's the meant for you. And so keep going in that direction. Or if you need to pivot and be like, I'm not feeling this sparkly lit up feeling, then that's not meant for you. So it kind of gives this nice roadmap into like, okay, where do you need to run into? Um, and then the next one is a manifesting generator. Now, manifesting generator also has all this go, go, go energy, but they also have this like unique vision of how they see the world. And so they're initiating and being this pioneer in their field. And so they're really building up this awareness of within themselves, like, I can trust myself even though no one else is doing things like I'm doing it. I'm going to still go forward and do it and initiate in the way that feels right to me. And that's actually a really amazing gift. So MGs, they can utilize their special energy to pioneer new pathways. The next one is a projector, and I'm a projector. And projectors are really, one of their gifts is seeing this overview. They don't really get caught up in the weeds. They can see this almost zoomed out approach, and they know exactly what to do to move the needle forward. And it's not a whole lot of steps, right? Moving the needle forward doesn't take a whole lot, right? But they know those exact motions that can move the needle forward to get to the next area. And that is really, again, like trusting themselves, like, hey, I know enough. I'm going to do this and this and this, and I got it, And then there's two more types within human design, and it's a reflector. A reflector has a beautiful, almost new dimensional way of seeing the world. They get a lot of feedback and energy in their own body, like when they go into a crowded room, they can feel everybody's energy. And so they get a lot of this unsaid stories and conversations that they can, again, turn back and utilize for to help others. They can use this empathy for other people. They are very connected with individuals, and so this connection is their superpower. And then we have manifestors are the last one. And manifestors are these huge leaders. They're just going to create big ripple effects in everybody's life. And to be okay with that is a big deal, because sometimes when people create ripples, they're like, oh, I don't know if people are going to like this. I don't know if they're going to enjoy this, but they're meant to create and do big things. So back themselves up and honor that. So those are a few little insights into each foundational piece of human design.
I love each one of those, and I could almost resonate with some of those, but obviously we have a type, and it's important to get this awareness and information around what is our type, so that we also not only discover a lot of our gifts, but also probably can look into some of the, the blindfolds or maybe the opportunities that don't come as strengths to us, so that we can really watch the way that where we put our energy, and also how to make the right decision to start to bring maybe another person on board that will help us to kind of stay aligned within our type, but also be able to be more effective in whatever is it that we have chosen in life and business. But curious, Courtney, to ask you around for entrepreneurs or for CEOs or for people that are innovators that are always thinking that they want to just challenge the status quo, and there's always a better way to solve a unique way to solve a new problem. What are some of the patterns? Where do they actually fall, and how do they know how to stay true to that and honor that? Because as you mentioned at the last time that you were talking about, sometimes it's very scary to go beyond the status quo and have that courage to kind of do something different. But that's actually where they should actually lean more into. So what are some of those patterns that you have seen through your work with entrepreneurs and CEOs that you could share?
Yeah, it's interesting to me. My clients, as they're in this space, that I tell them, I'm like, one of the strategies I want you to use is to put your blinders on. I want you to like not look at what everybody else is doing, because that can be overwhelming and can just get their minds going and racing in totally different directions. But I'm like, I want you to put those blinders on, almost put your head down and be like, this is how I work best. This is how I make things happen best. And so if I trust myself enough, I am going to do that with one thing over and over and over and again. And I'm not going to get distracted because by all that everybody else is doing, because my alignment is what works best for me. So with human design, we talk about this inner authority. This inner authority is how you make decisions best. So I train them and I'm like, how do you personally make decisions best for you? Make those decisions, honor that decision over and over and over again, and keep trusting yourself. Keep remembering that you actually have all the skills within you. We just have been conditioned so often to look outside of ourselves for the answers. And having like coaches and collaboratives and friends is really, really good. People that are in our corner supporting us. But when we get distracted is when we get compared to other people online, when we get compared to in our own brains. Our brains are like the best at comparing ourselves to benchmarks that we've set that are sometimes unattainable at this exact second. And so we're all very achieving women who are really wanting to take these soul-driven businesses to the next level and to expansion. But that trust in yourself, that relentless self-belief is what really changes everything. And so one of the things I have my clients do is we actually write a contract to ourselves. Like, I'm going to trust myself relentlessly, and they sign their name, and I have them look at it over and over and over again because it takes some time to rewire, and so put those blinders on, trust yourself.
Yeah, we all have that power, right? Doesn't matter what our type is. To tap in and learning more, how to self-trust and tap into our inner intuition is really, really such a powerful tool and such a powerful thing that we can all do, because we all have a lot of the most important answers inside of us. So I love that. Courtney, curious, how would you define inner alignment? There's so much lingo around this everywhere. Alignment, inner alignment, outer alignment. How would you define it? What is your unique perspective around it?
Yeah, I was just talking about this on my podcast too. I was like, I feel like the word alignment needs a rebrand. I'm not sure what it should be changed to, but I feel like it's overused. And so we often don't think about it how it should be, but it is it is the answer, this inner alignment, that our soul knows all the answers, that alignment to us is this velocity, and velocity is speed in the right direction, right? So when we're talking about a car, right, a car, when it's in alignment, the wheels actually go in a straight line, and so you don't have to hold on to the steering wheel so tight and start and it just kind of flows, right? Now when a car is misaligned, the tires they veer off, right? And you have to course correct it over and over and over again. And then what happens to the tires is they wear down and they get all messy, and then you have to replace them. And who wants to replace tires? No one. So the same thing goes for us, right? Is when we're misaligned, we have to course correct all the time, and it's exhausting. And so this alignment is about leaning into your gifts. And it's about looking at your sabotaging thoughts and having a system to bring that into peace and power. And so that's what I teach a lot too, is like when we're having these sabotaging thoughts, I tell people, I'm like, I want you to use a somatic tool. And one of the somatic tools that I use all the time is to take your fingers and then just to rub them really slowly together. And I want you to feel the ridges on your fingers and just notice that, just taking a minute. And what it does is it gets us into our body. Like, how do you feel like just doing that for a few seconds?
It starts to make me aware uh, around the sensation of my hand. Yeah, that's what it's telling me.
Yeah. Yeah. And so instead of focusing on like what's going on up here, you
Mm.
start to focus on what's going on in your body. And so alignment is really about tapping into the wise sage within each of us. And we can only do that by not like, by when we hit stress and anxiety and sabotaging thoughts, tapping into our body, rub our fingers together. I have a bunch of other somatic tools, and then come back with creativity and empathy and innovation. It allows us to really look at our human design chart and be like, oh my goodness, I was born with this gift. What if I was born with this gift? What can I do to lean into it even more? And that simple question creates this intentional action about what could I do with this gift even more? Where could I go with this gift?
Yeah. Yeah, I love the unique way that you described that. That could so resonate. But it's really about just slowing down a lot of times to be able to get that velocity, as you said. And that's where intentionality comes into play, especially with a lot of the business decisions as well. And that would be my next question for you, Courtney, as you help other women entrepreneurs with their discovering this process of human design and implementing it and aligning it in their personal and professional lives. What are some of the results that they have been able to experience through the transformational impact that this work has on people?
I've had clients who are like coming into the work that they do with me, and they're stuck. Financially, they're stuck. Mentally, they're stuck. They kind of plateaued, or they like, oh, I just don't feel satisfied with this business. I'd rather just burn it all down, that type of thing. And so what we do is we flip it. We through this work, they double their revenue. They are even more passionate about their businesses than they were before. I had clients who were like, I'm just not fulfilled anymore by this business. And so we work through that to find their either new alignment or to find that alignment that was lost through all the stress and the anxiety. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. I want to keep doing this. I want to keep showing up for my clients, for myself. And it is the most satisfying work because not only do we change professionally, we are always pouring into other people, right? And we get to pour into those people even more. And then on a personal level, right, we have our families. We get to show up for them even in a deeper sense and a deeper connection because we've connected with ourselves again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Transformative work and also impactful work that you can never go back to who you actually were. You've actually evolved in the process. So I love that you shared that. And yeah, it's always about discovering that. I've always been big on that. And that could be their competitive edge as well, especially with the way that we stand out and build an authentic brand today, whether it's online or offline. I think it's really important to know yourself so that you know exactly how to share your message, to story tell things your own way. And especially with today's content, I always say that it's about the experience, about the way that you talk about something, though your experience and how you share it. That's really what we have as humans to be able to learn, connect with one another, and support one another in the next, with the different areas that we all have chosen based on our gifts that we can really create the biggest impact out there in the world. So absolutely powerful work. Thank you so much, Courtney, for everything that you have just shared with us so far. I would love to, as we've reached the end of this particular interview, I would love to ask you, I usually have a fill in the blanks exercise for my guests at the end. So just, share whatever intuitively comes out there for you or you feel most aligned to share around the fill in the blank of this particular first question, which is, what inspires me is
Life, the possibilities, celebrating what's coming, because I know there's great things that come. And I'm excited for those beautiful memories with my business and with others and my family.
I love it. I overcome challenges by
Resting and renewing. I feel like that is very underrated in the business field, is that ability to rest and to renew. And I'm a very big advocate of not hustling. I'm a very big advocate of taking time and allowing the magic to happen. But the magic only happens when we rest and we renew sufficiently enough to be able to work.
Oh, I love that. That's mine too. I'm like, give me 24 hours to get over any tragedy or challenge, and then I'll forgotten about it, and then I'll be able to problem solve. Yeah, I think that's absolutely underspoken about and underrated, because it's also within our control and power, right? And it goes back to that self-care that we so much talk about. But it's always, isn't it funny how it's always like those simple things in life that we undermine? We always look for it to overcomplicate things. If it's too simple, I don't know if it's going to work, but it's really that. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And my last one for you is my best creative outlet is
my intuition. Man, that intuition, it leads me in the right way every single time. And so what I do is I listen to it, but I also give it space, to develop and to hit when it needs to hit. And so I don't like to clutter my whole life. As we were kind of talking about, space has allowed my intuition to flourish, which has allowed creativity to flow like crazy.
Wow. Amen. Courtney, where is it that everyone can continue this conversation with you? Where is your best resources hosted out there in the world?
Yeah, so they can jump into my website, CourtneyKoenig.com, and on there you can get your human design chart. I highly recommend pulling it because I have some action items on the chart that no one else really does. And so you can tap into that and really see things expand. And then get a reading, that's another way to really take this to the next level. And I was actually meaning to tell you, I have a special little code that I can give your viewers to get an inside sneak peek into their reading, which is amazing.
Well, thank you so much, Courtney, for all the amazing work you're doing out there in the world, everything you share with us so far, and definitely take advantage of that reading. It gave me a lot of insight as I was able to take advantage, as Courtney is one of my lovely connections that we had a lot of great chemistry with, and a lot of synchronicity is the right word, but just like feeling elevated at the next level and really being able to resonate with each other's work. So definitely take advantage of that reading, and we'll include the link to that offer that you had for our community as well. Thank you so much for doing that, and thank you always for watching and supporting the show so we can bring more amazing purpose-driven entrepreneurs just like Courtney on here, and also be able to subscribe and share so that you don't miss any new episodes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another amazing guest and conversation. Bye, everybody. You're looking for alignment between your purpose and your profit in your business. If you're experiencing these two main pain points in your business, lack of consistent cash flow and sales, and also lack of knowledge and strategy for scalability, then we must connect. I would love to schedule a call for a 30-minute free discovery session where I could see what you have built, meet where you are in your phase and stage of growth, and also help you identify some of the gaps that you might be experiencing in your business, in the alignment of your purpose and profit, and also in really carrying forward that vision that you have for your company moving forward, for your impact and also for your profit. Schedule a free 30-minute discovery call in the link below, as my calendar gets very full very fast, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there.